جاء المرسلون لهدي الأمم جاء المرسلون لهدي الأمم جاءوا يرفعون للحق علم سلام سلام أنبياء الله بعد السلام لعباد الله سلام سلام أنبياء الله بعد السلام لعباد الله سلام سلام أنبياء الله بعد السلام لعباد الله لله المجيب يطيب الدعاء لله المجيب يطيب الدعاء أعطانا الكثير والحمد لله سلام سلام أنبياء الله بعد السلام لعباد الله سلام سلام أنبياء الله بعد السلام لعباد الله حاز إبراهيم نعمة الإيمان حاز إبراهيم نعمة الإيمان وموسى الكليم كلمه الديان بعد السلام لعباد الله سلام سلام أنبياء الله بعد السلام لعباد الله وطه الأمين حبيب الرحمن وطه الأمين حبيب الرحمن عليهم فسلموا وصلوا يا إخوان سلام سلام أنبياء الله السلام لعباد الله سلام سلام
Following is a repeat show that was previously broadcast on Unity FM.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Parenting Hour. You're tuned into Unity FM 93.5 here in the West Midlands and 105.1 if you're tuned into us on Inspire FM from Milton Keynes, Peterborough, Luton, all that area. Welcome to this evening's show. We are live this evening with some wonderful guests that we're going to be talking about women today because tomorrow is International Women's Day. We are live now. I am coming to you live from our studios that are based in Birmingham, and welcome you all to tuning into this evening's show. As I just mentioned, today's evening show is about women and different women celebrating International Women's Day. We have two wonderful women with us that are going to be talking about themselves and what they have achieved and how they inspire others to achieve, which is really great. And I'm really looking forward to hearing them both and to getting tips and lessons from them. If you would like to join in and join the conversation, please do so by ringing 0121 772 8892, and the studio managers will be able to bring you into this evening's conversation through technology indeed. And it's great having technology. I know that's the theme of this year's International Women's Day, technology, and we're really proving that because we are online from different areas in the West Midlands and from London as well, in a park. So welcome Julie, who is online in the park. Julie Siddiqi, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, technology is great when it works. Really good.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's a wonderful way that we're celebrating it this evening, indeed. And we also have with us in West Midlands, in Birmingham, Patricia Earle. Welcome, Patricia.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome indeed. You're welcome. It's great having you both here. And I know Patricia's been on the show and Julie previously. But first, we would like to introduce yourselves to our listeners. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and the work you do as well. Inspirational work you do, I must say.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kathleen. So, thank you for the invite, and it's always good to hang out with you here on Unity FM and what's the other one?
Inspire FM.
Station? Inspire FM. Sorry, gosh, I forgot the name. Yeah, so look, I mean, I'm now in my early 50s. I've been involved I became a Muslim when I was sort of in my 20s, and then since then I've been on a amazing up and down journey around community organizing. I love working with people from different faiths. I've been on my own personal journey in terms of confidence and sort of discovering who I actually am and all of those things that I think we all go on. It's interesting when you get to a certain age, you realize, gosh, I thought I knew lots of things, and actually there's still so much that I learn pretty much every day. So I feel like I'm really in that space in my life. I'm doing a coaching course now. And of course, when you learn about life coaching, it's mostly learning about yourself, actually. So I'm finding myself doing a lot of learning and thinking, gosh, I thought I had done quite a good job of personal development. And actually, I'm only really scratching the surface in the first 50 years of my life. So I need to continue on this journey. So I feel very grateful, very alive. I think there's a lot to be thankful for. There's a lot of issues in the world. Sometimes I wake up a bit like this. I did this morning, actually. I woke up and I thought, gosh, where does one even start in this world? You know, there's so much to do, so much to explore. So I'm sort of in that space at the moment now. My children are slightly older. So what I'm interested in perhaps has changed to how it was when they were younger. And, you know, I'm just really, as I say, I feel very grateful. And I love being in this country, you know, so I take on a lot of, I guess, issues, and I feel very challenged by certain things when there's injustice or things in Muslim communities that I don't feel happy about. I would feel I want to challenge those things. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of what I do as well. So there's a kind of real mix for me. But I love working with good people. And I think the most important thing in all of that has been and continues to be good people that I can trust, have around me. Those are the things that really matter to me, I think, in the end.
I love the way you're talking about self-development and as a convert, and myself also being a convert, I think we've gone through a lot of self-development, but it is a continuous process. It's a journey. I remember doing my counseling and, like you, my life coaching training many years ago, and the amount of journals that you write and learn about yourself, it's amazing what you do learn about yourself and what you have to consider and think about and reevaluate. And I suppose that's probably also, as we're getting older, we're all on that journey doing things together and reevaluating. Patricia, tell us a little bit about yourself. And I know we're going to come back to Julie again because she hasn't told us everything. Yeah. She's given us bits. But Patricia, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So, my name is Patricia, and originally I come from Belgium, so I have a very strong French accent. But I came to England around 40 years ago. I came just to learn English, and I met my husband. And so I married, and then we spent around 10 years in America. We came back here. We had 3 children, and my 4th child was born in England. And for me also was a whole journey, like Julie was explaining. When I came here, I was quite shy. And I was really, I'm a pharmacist, now I'm retired. I was very, very quiet. I wasn't the type of person to mix with many people, but I always had that passion, you know, for peace and justice. And in my country, in Belgium, everybody's the same. We all come from a Catholic background mainly. And it's very, very much like a little bubble. You are brought up Catholic and you think, you know, you will die and everybody will become Catholic one day. And I never could understand that. I never could accept it. That's why I wanted to travel. So I left my country. And then I came to England and I was absolutely so grateful to be in England. I was in London at that time to meet so many people from all over the world, so many cultures, so many religions. I was fascinated. And I always had bit by bit developed in me this desire for peace and to bring people together. That's something also, since I was a child, I was quite touched, by the suffering of people around me, also in my family around me. And I always had that question, is peace really possible? How can I do? Because I hated conflict. And I think that was where my desire to do peace work came from at that time. And then when I came to England, it was just so nice to be able to meet so many people, and also to be confronted with a lot of issues. And so that's where my peace work began, really.
Oh, it's wonderful. Actually, Patricia does a lot of peace work, and every day in her house is International Women's Day. Her every event anyway that I've been to, all these events, it's just wonderful to see all the women coming together. And we actually have a caller talking about women coming together. I believe, caller, you're through. I'm not sure of your name. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
My name
Hello?
Hello?
Is it Nancy?
Yeah, it's Nancy.
Nancy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Is it Nancy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, you are there, Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy speaking.
We can't hear you very well. Can you speak up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
If you speak up a bit louder, yes,
Yeah.
that's good.
Hello?
Yes, Nancy.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, this is Nancy. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's good.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What would you like to contribute to our show this evening, Nancy, for International Women's Day?
Yes. I just like to say, big thank you to Patricia. What she has been doing is really amazing. It really inspired me. First time when I was invited to her house, I was just amazed. People, all the women from all over the world with different, cultural background, religion background, all visited her house to get together, talking about the family, the career, and the life, help each other. It's just fantastic. I just want to, say a big thank you to her on the Women's, International Women's Day. I think women, if we work together and if we could do something as Patricia did for us, I think it would be fantastic for everyone.
Thank you, Nancy, for that. That is a lovely comment, and it's lovely to be able to show gratitude. Actually, we had a few weeks ago Gratitude Day where we were giving gratitude, and there, Patricia, Nancy is ringing in to show gratitude to you for all your hard work.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yes.
She's such a wonderful support for me.
Oh, good indeed. That's wonderful. I'm wondering, Julie, how, in the work that you've done and the amount of awards that you've got, and maybe you can tell us about a little bit about that. How do you think we can inspire people from different, and especially our women from different nationalities, different cultures, our beautiful multicultural Britain that we're living in? How can we inspire them, especially this week being International Women's Day tomorrow?
Yeah, so I also want to just acknowledge Patricia for who she is. We've never met, but I can already hear, and even what Nancy just said there, for me, the crucial bit there was the hospitality within her home. There's something very powerful about bringing people over a threshold into your own home or into your own building or your own place of worship or something like that. It never fails. It never fails when people meet and eat and share stories. I think women, I have to say women in particular, I would say are better at this, good at this. It's not to say that men are not good at this, but I think it's a known thing that all over the world, when there has been peace building that's needed to be done, very often women have been and continue to be very much at the forefront of that. And I think that as women from all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of ages, we have to just own that and realize that we actually have a a lot of power when it comes to connecting with each other. And some of the work that I've done, for example, with Jewish women, so Muslim and Jewish women, you know, these are two communities who often are seen to be at odds and can't get on and don't get on. But actually, of course, it's not true. And when you bring people together, we've set up a Muslim and Jewish women's network, which has been successful because we're kind of doing it differently. And it is a lot about friendship and hospitality and sharing each other's lives and getting to know each other's families and really feeling that connection sort of heart to heart. So, you know, sometimes people dismiss that kind of stuff as being a bit wishy-washy and not really important. I would say is absolutely crucial stuff that needs to happen in any society. And of course, the other thing I think about a lot is that we're made to feel that the people that shout the loudest and the people that are the angriest are the ones that get stuff done. But actually, look at what Patricia and Nancy and others are doing, you know, quietly, powerfully connecting and, you know, bringing different people from different backgrounds together, sharing stories, sharing tea. You know, I mean, this stuff is the stuff that all of us can play a role in that in whatever way. And I would say to anybody listening, you know, sometimes we feel we don't have the confidence. I've been through that journey also. Patricia mentioned she was shy when she first came to England. And, you know, being shy, being, you know, a quiet person doesn't exclude you from doing this stuff. Obviously, Patricia is a good example of that. But, you know, find your tribe, as they say. You know, that's really important. Find the people that you can connect with, whatever background they're from. You know, you start to get a sense from people if you can connect with people at a friendship level. Sometimes you may come across people that are different to you, have different ideas. All of that is good if you can just have basic respect for who they are. You know, respecting difference is a great, great thing. It doesn't mean we all have to be the same. The more different we are, actually, the better. And certainly from a Quranic perspective, you know, from an Islamic perspective, diversity is absolutely celebrated, that we all are who we are and we respect each other. And, you know, I just think sometimes we're made to feel in the world that that's not possible. And actually, conversations like these are really important to remind all of us that actually not only is it possible, but it's really, really important and can really, really impact people, as we've just heard from Nancy, who called in to give her appreciation, and good for her for doing that, because this is the real stuff, you know, this is the real work that we all need to be doing.
Exactly. And I love the way you're just saying it's not the high-powered, like I know you've just come out of the House of Commons.
Parliament,
that. It's not, but maybe you can mention a little bit of this before we go to our next caller, because we have another caller waiting. But just before we go about your journey and some of the awards you've got, indeed, in that. But it's not around that. It actually is it's that, and also it's a very important being together. What Patricia does in her home, open her home. Wow. I've been there many a times. It's just unbelievable how you open your whole house to about 100 people or more. It's amazing.
That's a beautiful thing.
It's beautiful. Just tell us a little bit, Julie, before we go to our caller, a little bit about, you know, your journey, your day to day, and where have you come from, and what you've achieved.
Yeah, well, literally just now I've just come from the House of Commons, as you said. So there was an event there for International Women's Day. So I feel very much on a high. I feel like I've had a good battery recharge, if I needed one, with a whole group of amazing, diverse, brilliant women coming together to just celebrate each other. So we had, you know, parliamentarians there, as well as people from TV, as well as, you know, artists and all sorts, right? All sorts, business people, lawyers, all sorts of different people, everybody coming together, bringing different things. That celebration of that, I think, is powerful in those kind of spaces, as well as homes like Patricia's. You know, these things are all important to see that kind of stuff happen in a place like that. And, you know, I came from, I wasn't Muslim when I grew up. I became a Muslim, as I said, in my 20s. I got married. I started on my kind of community journey, but with a sense of, I very much had no confidence, really. I couldn't speak in front of even 3 or 4 people when I was in my 20s, and I had to go on a kind of really long journey to discover who I was and feel confident. And a lot of that was about the other people around me. And, you know, I've just stuck at it. I've done all sorts of different things, you know, national organizations, set up campaigns, worked, challenging some of the status quo in Muslim communities that I'm not happy about, for example, with mosques and not having women on the boards and all these kind of things. And actually, recently, again, I've gone right back full circle to working in my very, very local area in Slough, where I live, and doing some really brilliant, lovely community work with people there that I've never met before until last year, all backgrounds, all ages, all types of people, just doing some local stuff in the estate where we live. So I don't really think of any of this stuff as bigger, better necessarily. Going to the House of Commons, fine, great. Sitting in someone's house, having a cup of tea is great too. So I kind of keep it real in that way, like in a genuine way. I don't see one thing as better or bigger. I just think that whatever we can bring, the most important thing actually is that we figure out who we are. So I had to go on that journey myself and think about what can I bring to the world. I believe that God has put us here for a reason. I don't think it's just an accident. I think we're here to do stuff. I think we're here to find who we are, find our purpose, and then pursue that and do what we're good at and get better at it and do it with, integrity and honesty. These things are really important to me. Values of trust and honesty are really, really important. So I've kind of just been on this amazing, weird, up and down, round and about journey, but I'm still here, and I think I've got to this age now. I've still got energy, alhamdulillah, thanks to God, and I've still got mental and physical energy. So I need to continue. I love it. I love working with people. And there's something very powerful about service. Of course, it's all proven now with research and all of that, when you serve others or when you're working for a cause or for other things, it gives you that daily reason to get up and keep your mind fresh and be around good people. This is what kind of keeps me going. And I would say, much to my husband's kind of, oh my gosh, why doesn't she just slow down kind of comment, I feel like I've got more energy now than I had before. So I'm sort of doing whatever I can with while I have that. And of course, we're in a great country here where we can do all this stuff. I always say, and you think about the work that Patricia's doing, and there are some countries where stuff like that is much harder to do, any of the work that we're saying. And so I think we're in a great position here to do. We're relatively free to do what we want to do really here. And I think we need to also value and appreciate that. And I appreciate that pretty much on a daily basis of how lucky we are.
We're very lucky indeed, and we're very lucky that to have Gillian who phoned in, and I'm going to bring her through now to ask her what would she like to talk about this evening. Gillian, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Thank you for phoning in and contributing.
That's all right. It's a privilege. Thank you. I'm very grateful. I love the picture of her husband wanting her to lay down. I think that's brilliant. And she's so busy still. Just let's show them, Excellent. But I wanted to say that something as successful as Patricia's doesn't just happen. I think we all know that. The time that she did, she never stopped working to get all these ladies together. She's got a real gift of friendship. I think she's got lots of compassion. And so people want to go. We want to go to her house. And her networking skills are phenomenal. She absolutely never stops. And we do see what a wonderful group we belong to. So I just wanted to say also,
I think, Gillian, the line is going down. I'm not too sure if you've got the radio on the background or what. Can you hear me? Breaking up a bit.
Oh, let me try. Let me try again. I'll move away from the radio, maybe, and just have my phone. Can you hear me still?
Yes, that's better. Yes.
Is that better? Oh, good. It's better for me as well. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
I just wanted to say what a wonderful format she has for her meetings. And I think that's part of the success. We all want to go because she's got a lovely pattern through. First of all, she lets us all see from what countries everybody sitting there comes from. So you get the feeling you're in an international group straight away. And she introduces different languages. She then introduces speakers, and the speakers they're phenomenal. I don't know where she gets them from. But we have such high quality evenings when we go there. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
I don't want to be talking to myself. Am I talking to you still? Oh, that's very good. So she says, for example, I have short presentations. So we don't listen to one speaker for hours. You know, she invites us to ask questions. So we take part, and there are microphones, you know, in a house, in an ordinary house, to have all the equipment and the screen if we want to see something that sometimes her husband puts on the screen, some kind of education for us all. We all ready to be, taught things still. And then at the end of the meeting,
we're just going into a commercial break, Gillian, so I'm going to have to cut you a little bit short indeed. And we get the picture about Patricia. She is absolutely amazing. And we're going to come back to her after the commercial break, where we're going to be talking more about her journey. I just wanted to thank Julie. I think you have to go, Julie.
I do. Yeah. Thank you so much. And I'd love to come to one of Patricia's United Nations gatherings.
Following is a repeat show that was previously broadcast on Unity FM.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Parenting Hour. You're tuned into Unity FM 93.5 here in the West Midlands and 105.1 for those listeners that are tuned in on Inspire FM in Milton Keynes, Luton, Peterborough and all of that area. Welcome to everybody this evening. If you're listening to us on your radio, welcome. It's lovely having you. If you're listening to us on your radio driving home, it's even especially nice to have you tuned into us and we accompany you on your journey home, inshallah, a safe journey home. Or you may be tuned in on the app here in the UK or abroad, actually. There is a lot of people now that tune into Unity FM from abroad. Tomorrow being a special day, International Women's Day. That's what we're talking about. Have two amazing guests with us. Julie, who's just left, but has just been attending something in the House of Commons for International Women's Day. And Patricia, of course, is still here with us. And we haven't had much time to talk to Patricia and all her amazing work that she does regularly. And every day in her house is International Women's Day. Isn't that right, Patricia?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, because we hold women peace meeting at least every 6 weeks, you know, when we come together as women from all race, culture, nationality, faith, no faith, social background, ages, and we put aside all our difference and we share a common heart for peace and justice. So that's what we do. Yeah, I mean, we really meet on a regular basis. And because women come from all over the world, it's really international, really. Women's Day. Yeah.
It is indeed. It's beautiful and beautiful being in your house. And I know we had two speakers that are two guests that phoned in earlier on, and they were saying some things about the work that you were doing. At that time, we had to pass them off, but I think they're still on the line. Is that right? Nancy and Gillian, are you still here?
Yes, I'm still here.
I am too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of you are still here. Oh, that's really good. That Unity FM is working really hard this evening with all the lines, keeping it open indeed. Is there any comment or anything advice that you would like to give our listeners before you leave in relation to International Women's Day, in relation to tomorrow? Anything that you would like to think that we could be doing as women together, doing better together?
Yes,
are you going to answer that first? Yes, please do.
So, Nancy, is that you that's talking?
Yeah,
No,
sorry.
it's me,
Yeah,
Julia.
Nancy talking. Yeah. I just want to say something about the experience which I had from joining Patricia's event. Because from the beginning, when I first started to join her event, I just found amazing. You know, and she just, amazing person to get everyone together from, as I mentioned already, different cultural backgrounds, different religions. I don't know how she made this happen. And when we meet up in her house, everyone just seems so friendly to each other, no matter what backgrounds they are come from. So I think if as women, if we all could, do something as Patricia did, I think the world would be beautiful, and we could help each other support each other in many ways. I think, will be really good for Women's International, Women's Day tomorrow.
Oh, that's lovely. Lovely to be able to do that. Do you have anything in mind, anything that we could do that our listeners could say, yes, I could do that? I know it's Patricia does very big things, but maybe we start with something smaller, maybe your neighbours or something like that even?
Yes, actually, I already started to do something, follow Patricia's, way to do something in my local area. I have invited a group of people, coming to my house, share our, Chinese tea with them. Yeah, so I think it's a really good idea to open the house for your local neighbors, especially, during the winter time, people get together, people feel lonely. A lot of elderly people, they really feel lonely. So if we all could do something a little from our neighbors or the community, I think, just make people happy.
Excellent. That is lovely advice indeed. And I hope some of our listeners will take that up and ring us in on some shows in the future and let us know how that went. And hearing it this evening on Unity FM, on Parenting Hour this evening, being inspired by Patricia, by Julie, by you, Nancy, by Gillian, trying to make things happen. This is really wonderful. And we would love to hear back from our listeners. Thank you, Nancy, for ringing in and for giving your contribution. I'm going to head over now to Gillian, that's still here. Gillian, I want to ask you the same thing, the same question. Is there any advice that you would like to give our listeners this evening that are listening in? What could they do, starting from this week, starting from now, listening to this about how we can empower women, how we can bring women closer together, how we can connect women better together?
Well, that's a difficult question, but I'll just tell you what I do at present that has worked well, but it may not be the kind of thing you're thinking of. We have put in our front garden. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we put in our front garden a sort of, it looks like a rabbit hutch, but it's not. It's a big container for food. And we fill it with food regularly from a food bank because there isn't one near here. And quite a lot of women come and collect from it when they take the children to school and go by, or when they go back from school. And it has never food's never been left to go bad there. And I think some of the women are coming from hotels where perhaps there's only one kitchen and they really need something that isn't too far away. So we're quite near the Haggy Road, which makes it I've been doing it for 2 years now.
Wow.
I recommend that. Another thing I do, and I can only think of things that I am doing at the moment, otherwise I'd be doing them if I thought of something else. But I do run what would you call it? It's a kind of course. It's not necessarily only the Bible, but it's on metaphysics. It's on philosophy and so on. And women come to that every week. We meet just once a week, but we meet online. So that's another way of getting people together without having to actually live near enough to be able to go on foot or whatever. And that's something that I've been running for about 2 years. These things came about in lockdown, didn't they, when we had COVID keeping us all in, and perhaps, as people have been saying, women feeling lonelier than before. And it was a way of getting together in different ways. So getting together, I think that's the key. And it just has to be the right thing for you to do, doesn't it? We all do something different. And Patricia's got the right thing for her to do because it's so phenomenally successful. And I just like to say maybe there are other things that will come along from people who can do differently. But thank you for letting me come on this program. It's really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, Gillian. Thank you for that inspiration indeed. And I'm glad that you did phone in. Both of you and Nancy have been great contributors indeed. Have a good evening. Wow,
Thanks.
Patricia, what about that? That sounds wonderful. Imagine having a food bank at the end of your garden for people to I'm really inspired by that. That's amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. I think but Gillian is so inspiring. She's such a lovely person, and I just love her because she always practice, she's very giving. I think more and more people talk a lot or even pray. But I feel for me, I really like that aspect of doing something, showing. Always when we have gathering, we always have something. We pass a shoebox around, like our last International Women's Day. It was about women telling the story, and in the end, we raised the money for the earthquake for Syria. And in literally 5 seconds, we raised up £600 because the generosity of the people around, just passing a shoebox around. We had quite a lot of people there, but I feel that aspect of coming together as women, but also doing something to help, it creates so much good energy. You feel really, really good. This is something, and I like that in Gillian also. She's so giving, really. Yeah.
She is indeed. It really came across about the energy that both of these people are doing and how they've been inspired by you. So it's gratitude to you for the work you're doing, that they've been inspired to do their own connecting and their own and both are different in what they do.
Yeah, that's right. But I feel for myself, while I'm doing that, I love to bring women together. I love that we can overcome barriers with one another between religion, between race and culture and social background. For me, it makes me really happy when I see that, especially to give the opportunity of women to make friends with each other. And I think friendship is magic. Friendship is and women are good for that. And when you make a friend, it takes away your fear and your prejudice towards anything, religion, race, and all. And then you feel free in your heart. And I love that because I think as women, we have to help each other to free our heart, and we have so much to give. Everybody has something so precious in their own heart, and we have to bring it out to each other. And then we can do a lot of things. We can be inspired. I think our Peace Corps is good because we are touched and we feel, we can do something. Each one of us can do something. And I feel it's a collective effort of everybody working together in what we are doing here. It's not me. It's just everybody together with God's help and the sincerity and the heart of everybody. I think then we can create something really beautiful. We cannot do it alone. And we cannot do it also without God. I think we have to, really bring everything together. And also prayer, the prayer aspect of praying, coming together is very, very deep. After we share our heart with each other, we listen to different issues, and we can have a quiet time, a peaceful time where women can read from their own scripture, or sing a song or read a poem or have a quiet time. And you feel, because of the heart and the sincerity of all the women, you feel God's Spirit coming down in the middle, and it's a presence, it's love, and everybody can feel it wherever we come, whatever our faith. And He gave us deep peace, but also He gave us a desire to do more. And that's the goal of this gathering, is that we can inspire, we can have more confidence and more feel value in ourselves, that we can do something, we can be a channel to give something to other people. So I think that's a bit the value of coming together as women. It's amazing because we can resonate with each other, understand. It's not easy to be a woman because we have a lot to carry on our shoulder. And I felt really there's sometimes a lot of wounds, and a lot of pain. But by coming together, it creates a safe place where women can share their heart with each other. And I think that is really healing, and it triggers something in our own heart. And then we can cry. Sometimes there are many tears, or we can laugh. But by expressing all this emotion, we free our heart, and it creates a very deep connection with each other, really. It's very simple. It's not so complicated. We don't really plan it. It's from the heart, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think you've been doing this for so long. I'm just wondering if you could explain to our listeners, why did you start this originally? What motivated you to start all of this?
Yeah, okay. When I came back from America, I felt, in fact, coming from abroad, I felt a little bit lonely, and I could see other, waiting for the children coming from school, other women who are not British. I felt they were little islands in the playground, and I was thinking it'd be nice to bring everybody together and the children playing together, us as women having a cup of coffee. That's how we began. And then I joined a group, it's called Women Federation for World Peace. And I was very, very inspired by that because I felt it's really doing humanitarian work and also building bridge with one another, interfaith dialogue and for peace and reconciliation, and also the aspect of values and education for the family. So I was very interested in that. And so I joined that. At the same time, I made friends. And then it was in 1992, I think, there was the conflict in Bosnia. And there was a war with no end. It was terrible. And our Women Federation organized a chain of prayer all over Europe, to pray from women, for women and girls really victims of violence and rape and everything. And it was more like Christian helping Muslim women. And then I decided to open my house. I was so shy, as I say, I was so shy, even to open my house at that time. We had 3 or 4 of my friends were moms, waiting for the children. And we had such a deep experience. Just we were only 3 or 4, we sharing our concern for the women there. And then we just share and say a little prayer together. And after 40 days, something happened. I think Russia began to help a neighboring country. I felt the power of prayer, for women and victims of war. And that really inspired me to begin this peace group. And so we decided to meet every month, that was every month. And on the 21st, because the 21st of September is the day for peace, for the United Nations. And then in the beginning was more ecumenical, but then the ladies came and brought their friends who were from other faiths, other religion, and then it became interfaith naturally. And so it grew like that. But in 30 years, can you imagine? I think I was crazy to do that for 30 years. But anyway.
No, you're not. You're an inspiration this evening.
But I love it. I love it because it just gave me, I get so much more than what I put in. I get so much, I don't know, I can't really explain. I'm so grateful we can do that together with the women. And so it grew naturally, everybody coming together, bringing their input and their creativity and their ideas. In the beginning, we would concentrate more in conflicts in the world and try to invite somebody from that country to talk about their story, and then it opened your heart to the suffering of people in the world, which is really also educational, for all of us. And then afterwards also we talk about situation of women in society, suffering from domestic violence or situation of family, young people, integration, like racial, religious integration, so many topics concerning, all of us. And so it changed bit by bit. And recently, we just mix it together, what is going on in the world, we also at our doorstep, really, and then we have a sharing time, and the sharing time is very important. So we have speakers that we try to have from the different background, different faiths, if possible, and then the sharing time, everybody has the same voice, whatever it can be, higher people or simple people, we are all the same in God's eyes. We have all the same voice as women for peace. It is so nice, in fact, sometimes to hear what comes, the reflection after the speakers and how people open their hearts is very, very humbling, in fact, very touching. Yeah. And then we pray together, And then we socialize, and I think that time when we eat together is very important time, and sometimes we can be there until 11 o'clock in the evening. People are there in the house, just chatting and making friends with each other. And what I like also, recently I saw that younger people taking care of older people. It was really like a family, I was very touched by that, in fact. So there's a lot of dynamic, and also it's always new people coming. It's not always the same. So they are same people, but also there's new faces coming, and that creates some movement and life, It's not static, I feel. That's what
It has evolved over the years to do many things. Where do you see this going, indeed? And what outcomes can you see happening from this and all the work that's been done for the West Midlands, for the women in Birmingham, for, where are we going?
Yeah, it's a big, I don't know really, to be honest. I don't know. We just move and go forward. So I think, to bring more and more people together and to multiply that they can do like, multiplying effect that they can do like Nancy, invite their people. So you don't know where it leads, you never know where it leads. But I feel it has an impact on a city level, no? We have an impact. And we do quite a lot of work like with homeless people, also like chaplaincy, we've been involved, also refugees, we have also different we have different projects, like it's called Bridge of Peace, where women come together from different faiths, especially or country where there was conflict in the past, and they go over the bridge and they make a friend with each other. It's a very wonderful project for Women Federation. And then you invest in that friendship. So it's not where you are going, it's how deep you are, in your relationship with people also, I feel, because it's amazing, like you said, aspect of forgiveness and reconciliation. So this is something for me that's really important in that kind of work, more and more trying to break down barrier and free people and overcoming their resentment, at all different levels. So this is one aspect and the Bridge of Peace is a wonderful project. And then, we have also some project for young women, more and more towards for the future, to try to involve young people. We have a wonderful project called Young Women Speech Contest to encourage young women to stand up and talk, about their life, about dignity of women, what they want to do in the future, and to inspire them so they can take the baton afterwards. That's for me, that's really important to think about the future. And then they build up their confidence, even they don't win, it doesn't matter. They have their WhatsApp networking, and they are very inspired by what we do. Also, we've been doing some, last year was very nice, a peace garden project for young people. They've been creating a peace garden in small hills. And it was just lovely. It was an environmental project, it was a jungle, and they make a beautiful place where people can go there, have a quiet time, do meditation or do counseling. But also it's a place where young people have been working together, building bridge with each other, same thing, and I think it's really creating a different culture of the heart, in our society, very difficult society, I think. And that's why people like to come. I think they feel something in their heart, and they can feel that give happiness, by coming together, helping each other, and sharing their heart with each other. Yeah.
And I can see why people were congratulating you and saying beautiful things about you, because look at all the wonderful work that you've been doing and evolving over the time to make this work for women. And we only have a few minutes left this evening, but I'm wondering what way we can inspire our listeners. Being International Women's Day, technology is the theme this year. We've become so better with technology since lockdown. We've become so confident. Things that we would never do before, we can do now. I wonder, could we inspire women tomorrow to pick up the phone and to talk to somebody they haven't talked to for a while, or to set up a meeting to people from different nationalities, different countries together, just for 10, 15 minutes. What do you think, Patricia?
Yeah, I agree. And I agree, like the idea of Gillian. I think, on Zoom, during COVID, we did that a lot, and it doesn't take much expertise. You learn it, but it's just so good, even if we can't come physically together, but just to meet, to see each other. And also, I think consistency, I would say, is very important. Even in the beginning, we are perhaps very small, but then when we keep coming back together, we get so inspired. It has really a multiplying effect. So I think that's a very good idea. Just meeting on Zoom. Also, WhatsApp is very good. And I could feel that in the COVID time, we had amazing. Every day, somebody would send a little sentence to cheer us up, from our faith tradition or a beautiful poem. It's just this little thing. And the thought, from WhatsApp, you can quickly connect with people and to say, okay, I'm thinking about you, I think to help each other sometimes in little things, I like the sentence from Mother Teresa, not everybody can become great people. We can do little things with great love. And I think that's I really would advise that we have so much to give on the level of the heart. And sometimes we underestimate that. And if we begin, there is no end. It is really a multiplying effect. We can all do it because we have all a special gift, that we can offer to others. Yeah.
Exactly. And we can actually, listeners, we are putting out that this evening to you as a challenge for you to think differently about what you're going to do and how you're going to connect with your loved ones, with your neighbors, or with friends that you haven't seen for a while. Why don't you pick up the phone and say something, or why don't you send that message that Patricia was saying, or post it on a group? Let us connect. Let us make this connection and start the connection and reconnecting and continuing connecting with each other indeed, and inspiring each other and supporting each other, because alone we're just one person, but together we can do many things.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Kathleen, I think it's something I never could imagine that it has such a multiplying effort. I'm amazed myself to see that, because that's the heart of women. Women have so much to offer, and it begins in the family. We are peacemaker in the family. We have to bring peace between the children, and we have to go beyond the family, for our neighbor, for our society, and we cannot underestimate ourselves. We have a unique value. I really think so. Yeah. I can testify because I was the most unconfident person, to be honest. It's true. But I just feel like that.
Wonderful. It's lovely hearing you, and lovely hearing you saying that. Yeah. And actually, that's some of my own journey as well. If you, my family don't believe that I actually host a radio show each week, because I was the one that was never saying anything, and probably much worse than you were. So, and it is that trust and that asking God for help. If you reach out, God will come to us and help us. If you're doing this not for yourself, but for humanity, for all humanity. So we're coming to the end of the show. We'd like to wish all our women, all our listeners, all our girls, a really happy International Women's Day with peace and love to you all. And please connect with each other and support each other, inshallah. Thank you, Patricia. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you.